Have you ever wondered when you're even going to make sourdough? Because there's so many steps. It feels like you need to rearrange your entire life just to make bread. But here's a secret. You can reverse engineer your baking schedule so sourdough actually fits into your life. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do that using the Sourdough Made Simple method, which has different steps in it than other methods do. So I don't want this to confuse you either. But you can use the same strategy for your recipe and the method that you follow. We're going to fill out a weekly baking calendar together. Most sourdough recipes start with the dough, but that's actually the wrong place to start. Instead, we start with when we want the bread finished. Sourdough is mostly fermentation time, not work time, and that's an important distinction. Most people think sourdough takes all day, but the truth is the hands-on time is only a few minutes at a time. Let's look at the actual steps in the Sourdough Made Simple process. The timeline will look like this. So step one, pre-mix. We are going to be checking for your starter health, and this happens 1 to 3 days before mixing the dough. It is less than 2 minutes. You literally pop your head into the fridge and be like, okay, this will be good. Or I maybe need to refresh this. That's basically what we are asking. The next step is mix the dough. This is less than 5 minutes. And then we also will feed the starter at the same time. Then our next step is what I call the rest time, but it also can be called the bulk fermentation time or proofing. This is when, as soon as the dough is mixed, the fermentation time starts. And this usually takes about 4 to 6 hours on the counter. And then the next step is our cold fermentation, which happens in the fridge, and fermentation will just continue. So to be considered a sourdough loaf, you would want at least a minimum of 12 hours of fermentation time. So if it's been sitting on the counter for 6 hours and it's in the fridge for 6 hours, you have a total of 12 hours. Okay, and then we have our shape our dough. This is less than 5 minutes. Then our shape dough will sit on the counter for up to 2 hours. And then we're gonna preheat our oven. This is 40 minutes before baking. We're gonna score our bread. This takes less than 2 minutes, but also needs to happen right before we put it in the oven. And then we're gonna bake for, if it's 1 pound, 25 to 32 minutes. If it is 2 pounds, up to 50 minutes or so. And then we need about a 30-minute cooling time before we can get into putting it into storage or cutting it. So understanding all the steps and how much time it takes, that is going to help you be able to then schedule everything. Here I have a schedule. So let's say that there's a 2 p.m. recital on Sunday, okay? The grandparents are coming for dinner on Saturday night. So this is gonna be kind of our goal. But son has soccer at 1 p.m. and there is a practice for the recital on that afternoon as well, right? So what I do, the first thing that I do is I'm gonna look at my life schedule. So this is basically the AM and this is PM, and anything that is significant, I will write that in. So what I'm looking for is breaks in my schedule. So now let's assume that I work 9 to 5. And so there's some time in the morning, there might be some time in the afternoon, but I have game night at a friend's house, so we're not home. So we have soccer, but we're back at 6. So soccer, and maybe these are the same. Wednesdays, we're out late. Tuesdays, we have soccer and dance, and we're out late. Mondays, we're back home at 6 p.m., right? So I start to look for any gaps that I have in my schedule. So there would be one here, but that's too late. There's one here. That is a good one. There is not really a gap here, but I have a few minutes maybe between some events. I have this evening. Probably not this night, probably not this night. There's a little gap here. Maybe I go into work late on Thursday. Like whatever it is, we're just gonna look for our gaps, right? So our objective is to find our time that we're at home and how much time we have in that. So this seems like the best time to bake because I want our bread for our family dinner with the grandparents on Saturday night. And so what I'm gonna do is, because I have to leave at 1 p.m., I want the oven off by 12. Okay, so my real deadline is that I'm done baking at 12. If it takes 50 minutes to bake, then this has to be in the oven by 11:10, right? This is leaving no room for air, right? So I like to leave a little room for air. So let's say we have our 11 a.m. in oven. So now we're gonna do 10, 20, preheat, and score, right? Or no, we score right before we put it in the oven, okay? And now what we need is we're gonna go back over here. Our shape time can be anywhere from 20 to 120 minutes. So I'm gonna look then at what time I need this in. So 2 hours before that, that's 9 a.m. So I'm gonna say I need to have my bread shaped at 9 a.m. All right, so now we have our bake time, our score time, we preheated the oven, we considered our rest time, and now we have our shape time. Now, when it comes to everything else, like when are you gonna mix up the dough? And because the fermentation time can happen, it only takes us 5 minutes to mix it up, but we need at least 4 hours on the counter, right? So I can mix it up on Thursday from the time I get home right before soccer. I can mix it up on Thursday morning before I go to work, maybe. Or this time on Thursday night after soccer, I'll mix it right up, or I mix it up when I get home from work, and then I can leave during that 4 hour time and then put it in the fridge before bed, right? So I look at all of the rest of my week, and because I don't want my dough to be super sour and I don't want a really long fermentation time, then Thursday wins. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just decide, am I gonna have enough time between my work schedule and bringing or getting the kid from soccer, or should I be a little bit more chill and put it in at this time? And because I want to, I'm gonna already be up late because I have other work to do. So that's another thing that I'm gonna consider. Do I have 4 to 6 hours here? Or would it be better to take the 5 minutes, mix it all up, and then use this whole time so that I am not my bedtime is not dependent on this, right? So either way, I probably would do one or the other, right? And I think this is where it becomes like your personal preference, ultimately, right? So this is how I work it out. So let's say let's make a decision because we know we want to. I'm going to come home from work immediately and mix the dough. So that might mean that on Thursday morning, I'm gonna prep everything I need because I know I only have a small amount of time right here. and that should be fine. So that's kind of an idea of like how to do it. So now this also gives me all of my mornings. So if I'm going to check my dough here, or my starter here, I'm going to check my starter here, and then if I need to refresh it, I have 3 days to refresh it, and then it's like no big deal. And then again, guys, I'm not making 1 loaf at a time in my household. I'm making 2 at least. So then by Saturday morning, not only will I have bread for our family dinner, but I'm also going to have bread ready for the week. So then when we look at, is this going to be a natural rhythm for me? Probably not, because this right here would be stressful to maintain. But maybe what I would do is I would mix up my dough on Sunday, bake on Monday, and then just have bread for the week. And then maybe grandma and grandpa don't get fresh bread. And that would be so sad for them. When you see sourdough written out like this, something important becomes clear. Sourdough is mostly waiting, not working. Not your working. Which means once you understand the order of the steps, you can place them anywhere in your week. For example, mix dough after dinner, let it ferment overnight, bake the next day, or mix 1 day and bake 2 days later. The process is flexible once you understand the rhythm and you find your own rhythm. So if sourdough has ever felt overwhelming, try reverse engineering your baking schedule like this. Start with the day you want bread, work backwards, place the steps where they fit naturally in your life. That is part of the bread and butter way. It's a simple process, less stress, and the bread that fits your real life. If you found this helpful, like the video and subscribe for more simple sourdough teaching. All right, we'll see you in the next video.